Hi all, I'm Madison, and this is my presentation on Topic 2, Perception, Emotion, and Culture, and how it reflects back on the course that we have all just completed. So, perception has a number of effects on our interpersonal communications. What you see is what you get is a common phrase among Western cultures, and a lot of people follow that thought process without even realizing. People are always looking for meaning, and how we perceive things and each other is a big part of that. We see what we want to, so in order to maintain good perception, we have to be conscious of the impression we're making on other people, whether that be in the workplace, at the supermarket, or even with family. We choose or select what we want to acknowledge and ignore other things that are right in front of us. And then we organize our selected information in a way that suits us. These tendencies can have a negative connotation when it comes to interpersonal communications, as we can snap judge someone in a overly negative or a positive light. Emotion is a big factor in interpersonal communication too, especially aspects of nonverbal communication. A lot of people try and keep their emotions in check in a professional setting, but often our facial expressions get away from us, and our tone of voice can reflect our true feelings on a subject, even if someone is trying to be as polite as possible. The way we experience a situation will affect the way we think about it later, and if we've interpreted someone's emotions and nonverbal cues as either positive or negative, the experience will color the way we think about it later. Culture is a factor in interpersonal communication that people seem to be hyper-aware of or not aware of hardly at all. People of different cultures can interpret and interact in certain situations very differently, and we don't always recognize that in the moment. Nonverbal communication can be a big part of this as well, since the way someone is standing, looks or smiles, or doesn't smile can come across differently to people from different parts of the city, province, or even the world. Culture and diversity have a big impact on our perception of others, despite some people's efforts to try and see everyone as equals. These are deeply ingrained stereotypes and preconceptions in the minds of everyone about everyone else, and those affect the way we interact with people of a different culture every day. For example, in my own personal workplace, we currently have a staff member from Australia. He gets along great with everybody, is very friendly and very personable. Sometimes, though, he says things or does things that confuse or startle the other staff members, such as his unthinking use of Australian slang words or his different opinions on immigration and foreign exchange. He doesn't mean to offend or confuse anyone, but his culture in Australia is different than ours in Canada, so sometimes signals get mixed up and the message comes across not the way anyone intended. On the topic of Dr. Goleman, I don't fully agree with his statement on emotional intelligence, but I don't disagree with him either. I feel like you have to balance your EI and your IQ evenly in order to have a successful career in personal life. If you're too emotional, you could be perceived as a complainer, and if you're too clinical and objective, you can come across as cold and uncaring to other people. Personally, I think I may need to improve my emotional intelligence in the workplace, and even at home to an extent. I prefer to keep my personal feelings out of most situations, but as I get older, I realize more that some emotion is necessary to appear that you care about anything, and to endear people to care about you in return. Overall, I've come to the conclusion that perception, emotion, and culture are big parts of interpersonal communication over the course of this class. Every assignment we've done, especially the movie analysis, and every discussion we've had has driven home the point that no matter how professional you try to be, everyone will perceive you a little differently, and emotions are an inevitable part of everyone's day-to-day professional life. That's all for me. I hope everyone had a great semester, and those of you who are finishing, like me, I hope you graduated. I did. And have a great day, everyone.